The Zephyrian delegation materialized on the observation deck of the Harmony Station, with their characteristic shimmer of advanced translocation technology. Ambassador Kethavar, his crystalline form refracting the station's artificial lighting into prismatic rainbows, approached the human representative with what passed for confidence among his species. "Greetings, Representative Chen." Kethavar's voice resonated through his built-in translator. "We trust you have reviewed our comprehensive scientific framework?" Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's lead xenobiologist and diplomatic liaison, nodded politely. Behind her, a diverse team of human scientists, engineers, and notably lawyers stood ready. "We have indeed, Ambassador. Your people's mastery of quantum manipulation and dimensional physics is impressive." The Zephyrians had arrived 6 months prior, bearing gifts of knowledge that had revolutionized human understanding of the universe. They had shared technologies that bent space-time, harvested energy from pocket dimensions, and manipulated matter at the quantum level with casual ease. Their science was elegant, powerful, and bound by immutable natural laws that had governed their civilization for millennia. "Then you understand," Kethavar continued, his form pulsing with satisfaction, "that integration into the galactic collective requires adherence to established scientific principles. Your species shows promise, but your chaotic approach to problem-solving concerns the Council." Dr. Chen smiled, an expression that seemed to make several Zephyrians uncomfortable. "About that, Ambassador, we've been conducting our own experiments." She gestured to her colleague, Dr. Marcus Webb, who activated a holographic display. The projection showed a complex mathematical equation that made the Zephyrians lean forward with interest, then recoil in apparent horror. "Impossible," breathed Kethavar. "That formula violates the third law of dimensional stability. Matter cannot exist in a quantum superposition while maintaining macroscopic coherence across parallel legal jurisdictions," interrupted Janet Morrison, Earth's Attorney General. "Which brings us to an interesting point about your natural laws." The Zephyrians exchanged what humans had learned were expressions of confusion. Natural laws weren't something one typically discussed with legal counsel. Morrison activated her own display, showing a dense document filled with subsections, amendments, and footnotes. "You see, Ambassador, your people operate under the assumption that physical laws are immutable constants, but humans have a different relationship with rules." Dr. Webb nodded enthusiastically. "When the Zephyrians showed us their quantum manipulation techniques, we noticed something fascinating. Their technology doesn't actually bend physical laws, it exploits loopholes." "Loopholes?" Kethavar's translator struggled with the concept. "Gaps in the legislation," Morrison explained cheerfully. "You see, every law, whether natural or human-made, has exceptions, edge cases, and ambiguous language. The difference is, when humans find loopholes, we don't just exploit them, we rewrite the entire legal framework." Dr. Chen activated another display. It showed a device that appeared to be a simple metallic cube, but the readings around it defied every principle of Zephyrian science. "We call it the bureaucratic singularity generator," Dr. Webb announced. "It exists in a state of permanent legal appeal against the laws of physics." The lead Zephyrian scientist, whose name roughly translated to seeker of absolute truth, stepped forward. "This is absurd. Physical laws cannot be negotiated with." "That's where you're wrong," Morrison replied, producing a thick binder. "We've filed a class-action lawsuit against the universal constants on behalf of all sentient species. We're challenging the monopolistic practices of fundamental forces, the anti-competitive behavior of entropy, and the discriminatory nature of the speed of light." Kethavar's form began to flicker, a sign of extreme distress. "You cannot sue physics." "Actually," Dr. Chen said, "we've found a very interesting precedent. Your own technology proves that physical laws are more like guidelines, and guidelines can be renegotiated." She nodded to her team, and they activated the demonstration. The metallic cube began to glow, and around it, space itself seemed to develop a peculiar bureaucratic quality. Gravity filed for vacation leave. Electromagnetic force demanded overtime pay. The strong nuclear force went on strike pending better working conditions. "The beauty of human jurisprudence," Morrison continued as reality grew increasingly administrative around them, "is that we've spent millennia perfecting the art of finding exceptions to any rule. When you gave us access to quantum mechanics, we didn't just learn to manipulate particles. We learned to negotiate with them, The Zephyrians watched in horror as the demonstration area became subject to increasingly absurd physical laws. Water flowed upward because it had filed for a change of direction permit. Light bent around corners because it had been granted a scenic route exemption. Time moved backward every third Thursday due to a clerical error that had been made official through legislative oversight. "This is chaos," Seeker of Absolute Truth protested. "Your species will tear apart the fabric of reality. Only in designated testing zones," Dr. Webb assured him. "We're not monsters. We've established proper regulatory oversight for all reality-bending activities. There's paperwork." Morrison handed Kethvar a form. "Speaking of which, you'll need to fill out this environmental impact assessment. Your translocation technology has been creating unauthorized dimensional rifts, which technically violate several municipal ordinances." The Zephyrian delegation huddled together in what appeared to be an emergency conference. Their crystalline forms flickered rapidly, their species equivalent of panicked whispering. Finally, Kethvar approached Dr. Chen. "Your proposal for Galactic Collective membership is being revised," Chen confirmed. "We're prepared to share our legal framework with the galaxy. Imagine a universe where physical constants can be challenged in court, where entropy can be held accountable for its actions, and where every sentient being has the right to file a grievance against fundamental forces. The Council will never accept this," Kethvar said weakly. Morrison smiled and produced another document. "Funny thing about councils, they operate under parliamentary procedure. And we've found some very interesting loopholes in the Galactic Collective's charter." As the Zephyrians prepared for emergency departure, Dr. Webb called out cheerfully, "Don't forget to submit your departure forms. Unauthorized dimensional travel is subject to fines and penalties." Later, as the human team watched the alien vessel disappear into whatever passed for hyperspace when reality was having an identity crisis, Dr. Chen reflected on humanity's greatest strength. "Other species master the universe by understanding its laws," she mused. "We master it by rewriting them." Morrison nodded, already drafting amendments to the laws of thermodynamics. "It's not about breaking the rules," she said. "It's about negotiating better terms." In the distance, the bureaucratic singularity generator hummed contentedly, processing appeals from various fundamental forces, while reality learned to work within humanity's legal framework. The universe, it seemed, was about to get a lot more interesting.